chill time at the cafe, and we met our new pals, and then we went to go stalk some vampires, and Elaine became the Punisher.
And we
Not
need
a
to make
nice.
sanity rolls.
Yes, we
Yep.
do need to make sanity rolls. That
Yes.
was mentioned.
Not before we make luck rolls.
Yes. Make your luck rolls first.
All right, luck.
Everyone roll luck. Oof.
It's fine.
Okay.
I should probably get dice out now.
1d10.
Yep. I think we're just waiting on a Fate and a Lane. Oof.
Elaine doesn't need any luck where she's going.
She don't need luck, honestly.
Where's these two?
And as
That's-
always, if you would rather use physical dice, you can. You can.
if we-
Joe, swap your screen.
Fail the thing, we get the D10, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
I got a
if you fail.
78, so I get a D10.
E.
Yeah, given what
Yeah.
happened last time, I should use real dice.
I am begging you.
How
For
many
safety
times
of-
have I rolled 90?
The new boy. Please. Please. You rolled
No.
like 90 like 3 times.
He's just a little cursed.
Roll 20 has it out for like one person every game.
It's not me. Well, actually, it probably would be me. I passed it along to you
Yeah.
because I said, fuck that.
Yeah, if
Oh,
it's not me, it's Z. If it's not Z, it looks like the next person up's gonna be mad. Alright. So,
And then sanity rolls.
Oh yeah, sanity rolls.
Alright.
And that's one we want to pass. We want to roll.
Yes, you want to pass this one.
LOL.
Oh,
Okay.
yay. I passed mine.
32, I pass.
Alright.
You ready?
Elaine, you know,
Elaine doesn't have to, I don't think, because she already did
she
sanity.
doesn't, but like, bro, I just love that she did like a hard success last time too, right?
Mm-hmm.
A hard success again. Vampire Hunter Elaine right here.
Honestly.
Keep your shit together. Barely.
It's like, yeah, I'm surprisingly fine with this.
However, she is coping with it. It's working. But last time we left off, Elaine was spotted by one of the people on this boat as they were walking away, and instinct took over for her. And she just started walking, and feeling the vampire closing in behind her, she enacted the plan. Trademark. She turned around, and all of you can see Breze as you try to follow after, because she's going off alone with this presumably vampire trailing after her. So I think someone said before that you guys are gonna follow after. And you all see just in time as this person is about to lunge at her, she turns around with a shotgun and just point blank shotguns to the of this person. Elaine, your dress is very messy, for one word for it. And all of you see this body just slump to the ground, laying there in a pool of entrails and viscera. And this white liquid also seeping out, mixing with the dark red blood. It's kind of oily in texture and sheen as Elaine just stands over it. Everyone who passed. Oh.
I think everybody passed except Evie.
Yes, it is. But everyone who passed, you're going to take 1 sanity. But Evie,
Yes.
you are going to take 3.
Okay. We're still above 50. We're still flying half an EV.
Oh
Yep.
boy. We need to wrap this up so we can get some sanity healing.
Yep. So, Elaine, you're standing over this body, and it's just there for a moment. And it takes a couple of seconds of it just laying there, blood pooling around it, before all of you start to see that the body kind of disappears into mist. As if it's sublimating.
Mercy,
Elaine's
talking,
gonna-
we can't hear you. There you go.
Oh, I was gonna say, like the lady was stunned. It was kind of like staring for however long.
Mm-hmm.
And as it starts, evaporating? You said?
Yeah, it's kind of turning into mist.
She kind of stumbles back a bit, to get away from it. Maybe falls on her butt.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to push herself away from it.
All right.
Kind of expecting it to attack or something.
So, Aslan, as you fall back, you're kind of catching yourself onto the stone beneath you. All of you see that this body is nothing more than just a pool of whatever blood spilled out of it, and that this mist is rising. And I would say everyone roll me so spot hidden.
Oh, that's a hard success. Actually, might be extreme. Hold on.
Danny's got a 3.
Damn.
Regular success.
Yeah, I have a hard success.
Okay, so Danny, Nathan, Avram, all 3 of you take notice of one thing. Usually when you see steam, it rises upward. This one is moving horizontally, and it's not in the direction of the wind. As you see this little cloud of mist kind of dart to the side. And Danny, you notice that it actually starts moving off the dock, over the water, and in the direction of the boat.
Question.
Mm.
As it's rising from the puddle of blood, would it be possible for one of us to try to capture a bit of mist in a container?
You can try. I have questions.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of container?
Maybe a vial or something.
Like a vial?
It'd depend
Okay.
on what people might have on them.
Well, it's kind of like whatever you think your character would have on them, they have. So, like, what kind of containers does Avram just got on him?
How about dump out a flask and try to get it in there?
Okay. I
Please let this guy just capture this dude's head.
what on what? I'd like to hear what skill you want to roll for this.
Good question.
I don't know how to like categorize this.
Congratulations, Matt. First,
It's
first
been like
ask
5
roll.
minutes.
Already broke the DM.
Just I should have expected this.
I mean, obviously I want to argue occult, because it's a vampire. But realistically, it might be sleight of hand, which I am very unlikely to succeed.
You know what? We'll do both. We'll have you roll occult, and if you pass the occult, you can roll sleight of hand with a bonus die.
Alright, let me see. Is a 48 occult against 70, so that's our regular success.
Okay, cool. Roll me a sleight of hand with a bonus die. You're going to be rolling your tens die twice and taking the lower number.
Okay. That is 20. That is 40. So 26. Now, I only have 10 sleight of hand, so can I spend 16 luck on that?
Cause
It,
that's a lot.
that's a
16?
lot of
Do it.
luck.
I've
Do it.
got 72. I am not likely to get any back, so I need to spend some. Gotta spend luck to make luck.
Do it.
I want to know what happens if you take a little bit of a vampire.
You know, give me 1 second. Let me
It
Hold
was
on,
just
hold
like, I would like to know that too. Hold on.
hold. I'd like to bargain with you.
I'm always open to bargaining.
Okay, so you said it'd be 16 for it to be a regular success, right?
I rolled a 26, so it'd be 16 to get down to 10.
Okay. You said you want to spend luck, right? If you
Yeah.
make it an extreme, you can capture the whole vampire.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's a cool 24 luck.
24 luck. Trade deal.
Okay,
Oh,
might not be
boy.
blind. Alright, that's
Pleasure doing business with you.
to 48. The pleasure is mine.
Okay, cool. The wonderful thing about new characters is that they always have fresh luck pile. So, I want you to describe to me how this happens.
So, as he sees it start to turn into mist, and he's sort of caught up late, he, thinking quickly, reaches into his coat pocket for a flask and dumps the contents out. And as the mist starts moving, he tries to get an idea of it's not moving normally. So he's trying to think, where is it going to go? And his first instinct is, if it's going to flee, it's going to flee towards the boat. And so he kind of blocks it off as it tries to go and opens up his flask. And I don't know the physics of this, but the vampire
Just
gets
works.
caught in the flask. It just works.
Yeah,
Just works.
it just works. Often pulls out a funnel on top of the flask.
Just like push it in.
Yep.
Then he caps that sucker off.
Okay. Be careful when you go to take a swig of your flask in the future.
I don't know, how does it taste?
Have it noted down in your sheet that you now have a vampire in a flask.
Hell yeah.
Everyone's heard of genie in a bottle. What about vampire in a flask?
Mm-hmm.
I have noted that I have a vampire in a flask.
Okay. Well, this is interesting already. So, this happens. Elaine, you're sitting on the ground. Avram, you just acquired something. all of you see all of this happen. You see Autumn just kind of screw the cap on his flask back on. And all of you also hear the sounds of people around you, not very close, but down the docks, are kind of like, what was that? Did someone just shoot a gun? What was that? And they're all getting a little antsy and anxious. Because, I mean, hearing a shotgun go off at the docks is slightly concerning.
Imagine Nathan is the first one by Elaine. Just she's tripped and fallen. He just kind of carefully reaches out, takes her by the arm, pulls her to her feet. Yeah, that was actually a pretty damn good shot, all things considered.
We'll see. Just kind of blinking, trying to shake off the, I don't know, adrenaline, I guess?
Mm-hmm.
The anxiety, the adrenaline, the it's gonna be him or me kind of vibe.
And this is the first time she's ever shot someone, too.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Considering she missed every single time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just a little pat on top of the head. Grabs her arm again. Starts guiding her away from the blood and viscera.
So Elaine will allow herself to be moved. Kind of shakily pulls out a handkerchief from her handbag. Tries to wipe away the stuff from her face. Probably not helping.
Doubt it. Doubt it strongly.
Yeah. Okay, so you're guiding her away, you're guiding her towards the boat, away from the
Probably
boat.
back
You going?
towards the little building that everybody was camped out in waiting earlier. Because
Okay.
that seemed to be a relatively safe.
Hiding spot is like a little storage shed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, what is everyone else doing? Don't all talk at once.
Now, the smart move is to get away from the big pile of blood that was near the sound of a gunshot.
I've forgotten the setup in terms of how we're all oriented and where we are.
I
We
believe.
were at
Okay.
the docks for a while, and then Elaine, when we saw the vampires coming, we started to try to get closer, but Elaine failed stealth, and so that's why they saw her. And so she started running away from the docks and like across the street into an alleyway, and all the rest of us trailed behind her.
Yes. And now, in the alleyway, that's where the shot happened. That's where the pool of blood is. Nathan and Elaine have stepped away from the alleyway, are going back towards where you guys, your little hiding spot near the docks, in like a storage area.
Mm.
And I'm wondering, what is everyone else doing? Because people are starting to want to come and investigate that shotgun.
I assume Rebecca will do some like crowd control and like flash her badge and be like, "No, don't come here. Active investigation, yada yada."
I can have Evie assist with that. I have decent charm.
Is Evie gonna be in the headspace to do so, considering she just took the heaviest psychic damage?
She did take the heaviest psychic damage. You know what? Is it just going to be because I had the thought, jump into water, swim toward ship?
Oh god.
Nathan takes his eyes off her for 1 second.
And I feel like she just took some sand damage, so return, with the V, might be where she's at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll have
Thank
Evie, she will toss her rifle, to, Danny. Just tosses it, catch, and as the others are starting to move, she will hop into the water and just start swimming toward the ship.
Okay.
Oh.
I'd like you to roll me a swim roll.
Yeah, sure. Oh,
And-
I'm the cursed one. I'm the cursed one today.
I see.
Roll 20 is coming for me
So-
today.
So, Evie, you're not going to drown. However, this is a lot harder than you remember it being. I think the water's just extra choppy today. Something about the coldness. It's not exactly invigorating as you usually is. It kind of just chills you to the bone and tires you out. So you can make it to the ship. It just fucking sucks.
I will
And
accept it fucking sucks.
yeah, it sucks so bad. The first time you've ever hated swimming. For Rebecca, I think we're going to be going with you rolling law as your cop skill, right?
Yeah, I'd be down for law or persuade. I don't know what this situation. I feel like because I'm flashing the badge and like
Mhm.
law makes more sense.
Okay. I'll say your pick, or we can do a combined roll, where you can roll once and see how many skills you can pass with the one roll.
Okay, sure. I'll start with law then.
Okay.
Extreme. I don't think I need to do a roll again.
Nope. Because
They
that,
listen to me.
yeah. What's your persuade?
50.
Yeah, that'd probably be an extreme for both. Describe to me, how does Rebecca calm people down? Because I imagine as the rest of the group starts to trail away from the scene of the crime, people are starting to come over and investigate and peek their heads out. You see some dock workers, like in a group, because safety in numbers, are like coming around the corner to see like what the fuck's going on. Do they gotta call the cops?
Cops
How
are
does
already
Rebecca
here. Nobody
Yeah.
needs to be called. Just kind of like a "don't worry, we're on it" type of situation.
Mm-hmm. Okay. With an extreme success on both law and persuade, you were able to calm people down. The crowd that was gathering started to disperse because, well, I mean, look at this person. Is that a badge? They got a badge. Look at them. They got a hat and everything. They're professional. And the growing crowd just disperses, almost as quickly as it started to. People are still a little anxious, but it seems like it was a one-off, and the police are already here, so people are kind of going back to minding their own business. Which is good, because you don't want to have to explain where the fuck the body is. Bonus points. It looks like, because an extreme success, it looks like someone was about to try and call the cops, but they stopped because, they're already here. Alright. So. Sailor, can you not? Oh, he dropped his toy.
Okay, Mom. Okay.
Okay.
I was having a good time, but apparently you don't want me to.
Can you? God, I'm trying to be spooky. Danny, get under the bed. All right, we might have random squeaky toys. It's fine. It's fine. I can still be spooky. So, Danny, what are you doing?
Danny's gonna look to the rifle, just hand it to him.
Mm-hmm.
Look to Evie, who just jumped into the water and is struggling. Look to Abram with his flask. And then hand off the rifle. We're jumping in, boys.
Avram has just started to say, Danny, I hope you can pilot the boat. And then he's off.
Can I need to remind you all, the boat is docked. Like, it's
Monkey see, monkey do.
That's how the vampire got off the boat. It was docked, and then
I don't know. They have vampire powers. Shit.
This is my new boss. I gotta go.
Go. Okay.
Nathan just mentally calculating, is it worth it to save these two? Can I find another employer and employee?
It's not often you have to go looking for both.
You know, hourly responsible, he'll go tell the others.
These two
Oh,
just
no.
jumped in the water.
You don't even have to fucking tell Nathan. He heard the splash and was like, God damn it. Just guiding Elaine along, trying to be a supportive friend and make sure she doesn't freak the fuck out. Here's the splash, immediate cursing in Irish.
Oh, fuck. Well, you say that Rebecca's done with crowd control. So, Avram goes to tell the others what the fuck he just witnessed. With people jumping into the water. Now, Charlie, you're gonna continue to have Danny just monkey see, monkey do in the water.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, please roll me a slim. About the same. But you're faring a bit better. It doesn't suck as bad as it does for Evie, but it's like, damn, this shit's cold.
It is cold.
Colder than you thought it'd be.
You could use luck or push it if you want, Charlie.
You have a 20, I would advise not pushing it.
That's true. But you could spend 3 luck to make it a success if you want.
I'll give into peer pressure.
I will say that you are still going to get to your destination if you want to save your luck. It's just gonna suck. But if you want to spend the 3 luck, you can, and just have him just love the water.
If I spend the luck, will it help Evie and her experience? Will it suck less for her?
I will say yes. You can help her out a little bit. Still gonna suck, but it'll make it suck a little less.
So I imagine Danny just rips off his shirt, jumps in, and it's very much akin to Kira in Guam, and just shoving Danny under the water.
Yep. Evie just feels Danny behind her and just instinctively reaches out, even though she knows not to do that. She knows not to do that. But she's feeling just a little bit brain scrambled.
Mhm.
And out of reflex, she does it anyway.
Okay. Well, you guys have your time swimming. Some faring better than others. One faring better than other, actually. And you guys are going to get to the boat. We're going to go back to the others who are on dry land. who have just regrouped. Elaine, you're able to get the blood that was on your face off relatively easily. It's just your clothes. Looks like it's all stained. They're going to need professional cleaning if you want to salvage them. Danny, that flask you have in your pocket is empty, but it feels
Problem.
very heavy. Oh, sorry, not Danny. Sorry. Please forget.
Maybe.
And Rebecca, you have probably won Cop of the Year award from the dock workers. You all
What
hear
were you
this
saying
one.
about the flask? You said empty,
Yes.
but it feels.
It's empty, however, it feels both warm and cold and kind of heavy at the same time. Despite the fact you know it's empty. Technically.
There's your backup, Rebecca.
Sorry, what?
There's your backup.
LOL.
Just rolled past. Alright, boys, what's the plan?
I imagine, like, Nathan has tried to get Elaine sorted, still cursing under his breath the entire time. Less than amused. Also notes as that there's a regrouping of like, oh, that's where the second splash went. Danny's gone. Fuck Danny. And just kind of peeks his head around the doorway looking towards the boat. Is there any sign of movement or anything on the boat?
Gonna take some spot hiddens.
Good at those. Daddy, 20, so I think that's hard.
Normal success.
Problem hard for Nathan.
Okay. Did anyone else want to roll spot hidden? Or we just go with those two?
Sure. Hey.
Alright. So, everyone except Rebecca. No, sorry, not Rebecca. That's Elaine. Gotta have my Roll20 stop having a fucking seizure. Elaine, you're a little shook. Considering what you just did, what you just saw, what just happened. And actually, the past 24 hours are kind of like a lot. And you're kind of distracted because you kind of still feel the shockwave of that shotgun in your hands a little bit as you're cleaning up some of the blood off of your clothes. Everyone else, there is movement on the ship. You spot a figure ducking into the cabin on the ship, where like the steering wheel would. You also spot a certain marine biologist and a certain fireman swimming towards the boat.
Unfortunately
But
for Nathan,
yeah.
they're on their own for the minute they chose to do that. They're gonna suffer the consequences on their own. He's not jumping into the fucking Boston Harbor after.
The boat
Like-
is docked.
I like to reiterate, the boat is in fact docked.
I know.
Okay.
They're like you said, they're on their own until they get their ass back onto something dry.
Mm,
So we saw just one figure on the boat itself.
yes. Looks like it ducked into like little boathouse on the ship.
And if I remember the counting that we did, as far as vampires, we killed one. We had one that's kind of in favor of us.
Mhm.
So left 3, 2.
So, there are, from the maths that happened previously and the trade deals established, there were 2 vampires left on the boat. You guys have dealt with / captured one of them. So there is one more on the boat that you saw go into the boat cabin. And there are 3 more that you know of. One of those 3 is Camilla. So there are 2 other vamps that you are unaware of. Presumably, those other 3 are together.
So Nathan just kind of looks over the Avram and Rebecca and gives like a one shoulder shrug. Well, near as I can tell, we might as well go ahead and go poking around the ship. I think there's only one over there.
Since I was drinking class, there is a new one.
I'm sorry, can you repeat yourself?
There's only one there, if she was counting correctly, because 2 of them flew off into the city.
Your friends are full of surprises, as it seems are mine.
That's a word for it. Nathan looks very tired.
We better get there quickly.
Oh. Yep. Looks towards Elaine. You gonna be good to go? Keep going. You could just stay here if you need to.
I really genuinely.
Just nods and kind of stands up, wipes his hands, picks up Shaylee, and they're heading towards the boat.
If there is anyone a better shot with a rifle, I only know dueling pistol.
Technically, Nathan's a really good shot with rifle, but
Who are we shooting?
Avram's trying to get rid of the rifle he was handed.
He only knows how to duel with pistols. He does not use rifles.
Wait, I can hold on to it if you want.
I'm sorry, I couldn't quite make that out.
Yeah, I'm
I can hold
begging
on to it if you want.
adjust your mic or something if you can.
I think you do quite well with it. If you prefer, you can stay back here and provide cover for us.
I would prefer to stay with Sigurd.
Yeah, when we're dealing with people potential problems. Better usually to have people together rather than causing trouble on their own.
So with this, then we want to get going.
Nathan nods. Start talking again.
All right. You guys are making your way down the dock. We're going to flash back over to Evie and Danny and their joint struggle. It's not helping through the cold, choppy waters that are in the dock. There's something about today. I'd like to double check that both Kira and Charlie are here, or?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, cool. At least one of yous. I think Charlie stepped away for a second. So, I would say that Evie probably does know, if it was shared earlier, that there is one more vampire on the ship. But I don't think she was able to see where they are because she was swimming. So, what is Evie's game plan as she approaches the side of the ship?
All of you do think she has one. The water, jumping into the water and trying to move forward was more of an act of comfort than it was something that she actively planned. So I think Evie is going to, first of all, haul herself up onto the side of the ship if possible. Try to do it quietly, and then try to figure out what she's going to do. She will, as she is approaching the side of the boat, come to her senses enough to try and help Danny up as well.
Okay. Because the water just sucks so bad, I'm not going to make you roll to get onto the ship. Because I imagine just your senses are like, this is enough. I've had enough. It's too cold. But I will take a stealth roll.
Alright.
As she kind of comes to her senses of like, oh, right, there's still danger here.
Sure you don't want to swap the physical dice tonight, Kira?
I need the numbers.
If this is any other system, you'd be on fire.
Do I wanna push this? Do I wanna push against a 20?
If you want to, you can.
Alright, hold on, okay, I have the number in front of me there, so I can roll physical dice for this. Give me a second. Let me get some dice out. Okay. Yeah, these will do. Except there's only 1d. Okay, no, there they are. Alright. Let's see what we got here. Sorry about this. Thank you for bearing with me. Yeah, that's a 69, so that's precisely 3 better. I think I'm just cursed today.
Okay.
It's a 20% chance. You're not that cursed. It's just math.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, so, let's have some fun, I suppose. Evie's going to
Okay.
beef it or something as she's getting up there.
Okay, cool. So, Evie, it's easy enough for you to climb the side of the ship. There's some netting that you're able to grasp onto and heave yourself over.
Mm-hmm.
And you're trying to be careful because you know that there is someone, at least one other, on the ship that you guys know of. So you're trying to be very, very careful as you make your way over the edge of the ship. You look up and you see that the others are starting to make their way down the dock, so they're not too far off. But I mean, the group can see you hauling yourself over. You can see them making their way over. And as you focus on trying to get one leg over the lip of the ship, you end up knocking over a tackle box. And it just clatters to the ground, opening up and spilling different bait, different fishing hooks, a couple different lures, just all over the place. And it's very loud. But you're on the ship.
As everything begins to clatter, I think it might be a good idea to try and take something from the fishing box, from the tackle box, before we get too far in here. Could I
Wait.
grab some?
What are you grabbing?
Yeah. Is there like a knife and some line in there?
Roll me a luck check.
All right. Okay. That's a 70 versus 41.
Oh, we're in for a night.
You find a pretty sizable fishing hook, like one used for large trout. But no
I'll
knife.
take it. I will take that, and then I will try to find some spot to hide, and I will gesture for Danny to do the same.
Okay. We're going to have I presume Danny has common sense, so we'll just say that they do, and that they will also gesture and also try and hide.
Charlie's back, I
And
believe, if you want to ask Ben about anything.
Charlie, are you back?
I am back.
Hey, welcome back. So you just witnessed Evie just fucking make a loud ass noise, knocking over a tackle box. She grabs a pretty sizable fishing hook. For whatever reason, you both know that there's at least one other vampire on board. The group is on their way. They're coming down the dock. But the two of you are on the ship.
Danny will tilt his head and just take the machete that's still tucked into his pants and hand it over to Evie.
He's handing it over, you said?
Yeah.
Evie will quietly shake her head as they're trying to find some spot to hide. No, it's probably better if you have that.
Okay. And then we'll just tuck into a corner, I guess.
Alright, roll me stealth checks. Actually, I was gonna say never mind.
Well, here we are.
It's okay. I changed my mind right before you guys rolled.
I rolled a 20. I succeeded. Amy, I succeeded.
Okay. Because rather than having you guys roll stealth, I'm gonna have this guy roll spot hidden.
Okay. Valid.
Because he's going to go and investigate the fucking whatever the fuck that was. And okay. Cool, we're just gonna go with this. Alright. So, you guys tuck yourselves into a corner, knowing that, okay, that was fucking loud. Right? And as you guys tuck yourselves into a corner, you see the door open. I imagine one or both of you are peeking out just enough to just see what's happening, horror movie-esque. Gotta be able to see the killer on screen for maximum suspense. And you guys see this man open the door, and he kind of just looks like a regular person. He's got his hat on, a fedora, 20s aesthetic. And he opens the door, and he looks very on guard and suspicious. And he kind of stalks and prowls around. There's this slight hunch to his spine, as if he's ready to pounce on something, as he just slowly walks around the deck. And he makes his way toward the tackle box. He looks down at it, and he starts scanning the area. And as he does, he goes to make a step in the direction where the two of you are huddled behind something. And you see a seagull land on the side of the ship and start pecking at the bait that just got knocked over. You see the vampire kind of just shoo the bird away before deeming it a lost cause and going back into the cabin of the ship.
Evie will let out a very quiet sigh of relief and then try to think of what to do next. They're trapped with this vampire. We know it gets distracted by shiny things, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
We
cool.
all have our emergency shinies.
Yes.
Perhaps what we can do is drop some shiny out onto the deck of the ship in a place that would make it an easy shot for the other members of our party, and then make another loud noise so that it comes out to investigate and sees the shiny.
Yeah, sounds like a good plan.
Okay. So let's say at this point in time, as you're thinking this through, coming up with this idea in your mind, that's when the others reach the boat and they start making their way. I assume also stealthily, right?
Yes.
Mm.
I imagine the moment that there was a ruckus that happened on the boat, Nathan instinctively kind of went down and it towards the shadows. Whether or not anybody else followed or did the same is up to them.
Nathan presses crouch. Okay. So, in the time where the group is sneaking up onto the ship, you can have Evie and Danny both lay out their little trap of shiny, kind of like it's a crow, you know? In prime time shooting range position. And I'd like stealth rolls from everyone else who is trying to sneak onto the ship. We're going to go ahead and move over
That's a
here.
critical success.
You rolled a 1?
Yes.
Damn!
Damn, okay.
I got a failure too.
Well, with a success and a critical success and 2 failures, how does Nathan essentially save the group from being discovered and making a loud noise? Like, how do Elaine and Avram almost beef it and fuck this up? And how does Nathan just smooth that over real quick?
I imagine that you can correct me if I am wrong, Iris, that Elaine is probably walking next to or very close to Nathan.
Yep.
And so when he goes down out of just sheer instinct at this point, he reaches for the nearest nerd and also you're going down as well. whether that is Elaine or Evie, and in this case, it's Elaine. So like
You're all crouching.
hears noise immediately, hand shoots out, presses head downward as he also goes down, and as she starts to like complain, hand over mouth.
Nah, she wouldn't complain, but I imagine maybe she like almost dropped the weapon kind of thing. The freaking gun.
Snatches that and will just use that to like shove backwards and push Avram into the shadows as well.
Oh wait, I'm gonna delete all of these. You probably
Yeah, we
go
have
ahead
to
and drag your
drag them.
tokens on. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, so you guys are able to board the ship and stay quiet enough that it doesn't arouse any more suspicion. You guys can see a sopping wet Evie and Danny laying out a little trinket, shiny trinket of some kind. Which, Kira, Charlie, you guys can pick wherever you guys want to put the trinket down on the map.
Okay. Let's see. We want an easy shot. So probably like over here. Charlie, what do you think?
Looks good.
is the vampire coming up from this door? Is he coming in and out of here?
Here.
Well, then he'd have to go the whole way. I don't know if he'd see it. Like, maybe it would be better over here then, where it's more visible to him.
Mm.
Probably closer would be better.
What, like here?
No, the second option.
The second option. Okay.
Okay.
Let's. I forgot how to delete.
Click on delete key.
Ah. Oh, thank you. Okay. Cool. Then would you like us to drag us to where we are? I wasn't sure if you wanted to position
Yes,
us.
please.
Okay. Let's see. There's no. I assume we came like back up here, yeah. We'll be up here.
Okay. So you're all just quietly holding control as you move. Evie and Danny have set up their little trap of trinket. What are you guys doing now? Are you guys just going to try and wait for him to come out? Are you going to do something in the meantime? Are you going to try and look around?
Trying to signal the others that are trying to get on the ship?
Sarah did mention making a noise to attract its attention.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the plan. So I figure, as like Evie and Danny are putting the trinket down and then heading back, they'll probably spot the others. There's a bit of a wave, and gesturing that they're going to go back hiding. Maybe like along the way, she picks up like the tackle box again, quietly, and then mimes dropping it, and then like holds up, like 5 fingers counting, and then on the count of 5, she drops the tackle box again.
Okay. Oh, so you guys have enough time to get into whatever position you like before Evie drops tackle box again, enacting the plan.
Plan. Works.
Pretty good plan.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking
firing squad.
Shooting somebody. Hand the gun back to Elaine.
All right.
Did we
And
sneak onto the ship or are we just on the dock?
that's up to you guys. Where you want your character to be.
I
How
thought we
you
rolled
guys?
stealth to get on the ship.
Yep.
I thought the stealth was just to not get noticed when they start causing chaos.
I assumed it was going onto the ship, but you can have your character not go on the ship or just go onto the ship. Either way, the stealth path.
If we're about to start shooting at this thing, I'd prefer not to be on the ship.
Somebody go prone in the lifeboat and surprise him.
And where's the door that he's coming out of? The X?
The X is the little trinket, gold trinket to distract him that Evie and Danny placed.
Essentially, we're expecting him to come out like this.
So, because of the way this is playing out, and you guys are kind of planning to enact this, all of you can probably aim, which is an action you can do. Typically, it's like on your turn, but this is kind of a surprise round thing that's like planned. So you guys can all take the aim action if you'd like, and you'd be getting a bonus die onto your gun roll.
Shush.
Absolutely.
Yes, please.
You're all
Can you
lining
aim
up
a
I'm
machete?
sorry. You said we get what to our gun roll?
a bonus die.
Cool.
To the tens die. Lower one. Correct?
Yep. Bonus dies are great. So, you all get ready, you get in your positions, you get ready to fire wherever you want your token to be. And Evie, counting down before dropping the tackle box. It, once again, goes everywhere. It kind of pains you a little bit, because that's not good for the fishing things. That's not good for the hooks to be clattering on the ground like that. You know, that's a lot of bait going to waste. But, for the cause. But the vampire does in fact come out, hearing it again. And he's going to roll something. You see that he does in fact notice the gold. That's the first thing his eyes are drawn to as he opens the door. The sunlight hitting it just right to make it sparkle. And he's actually just barely able to pry his eyes away from the gold to look up towards the source of the noise. But all of you are just fucking ready to get this guy as soon as he's in sight. So you can all roll your attacks.
And is there a button we press on here to do the bonus die?
You should have a pop-up that's like normal bonus die, whatever.
Just when you click it?
Yeah.
Ooh. Like that?
I believe so. Let me see your.
Barely.
Here, try rolling it again. I changed your roll behavior to
Thank you, thank you.
So it should be a little pop-up.
So number of rolls 2?
Yes.
Cool, cool, cool.
Okay.
Is it query full or query compressed?
We'll go with full.
Full. Okay.
Okay. Everyone who succeeds, go ahead and roll me your damage.
Holy shit.
What the fuck?
Oh,
Why is
What
Elaine such a
happened?
crack shot?
1d10 minus 1 equals 20?
What?
I'm confused.
Minus 1 equals 3. What?
You did the full query.
Did you put 2 dice or 1?
I didn't put any. I just clicked roll and then let me try it again. And it said number of rolls 1.
Number of rolls 2.
Oh, number of rolls 2. Okay. Well, fuck. That's worse.
I'm so confused. Okay. Well, your first roll succeeded anyway, so you can just go with the first 2 you did. 14 damage. Alright. Everyone give me your damages. I'm pretty sure this guy's fucking dead.
Does the extreme success change anything about the damage?
Ooh.
Yes, I believe it does.
Headshot.
Headshot. Let's go.
Go.
Hi, sleepy Amy.
Yeah. Okay, I will. Okay, we see too. Extreme level success. So this guy, he's gonna try and dodge that. He's not gonna succeed. So for an extreme success, you're going to do max damage plus your max damage bonus plus another roll. So essentially, roll an extra die. Or I think you've already rolled your dice, then just add what the maximum roll is to the damage.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a lot of damage.
that's a lot. You know, you all just immediately, as this man comes out and in the 1 second that he's distracted by the shiny on the ground, all of you take that moment to just simultaneously fire at him. One shot after another, riddling through him. And that's like at least 40 damage from like 3 of you. So he crumples to the ground again, and his body stays there for a while. A few moments. But you guys can once again see that as he lays there, mist starts to slowly evaporate from him. But at this moment, he's still lying there.
Get the flask. Get the flask.
How many more flasks do you want me to have?
Considering the fact that we are slowly developing a reputation as like one of the primary bootleggers in Boston, considering Evie always has whiskey,
Look,
Medicinal.
I would say all of you who are all of you can either roll me a Cthulhu Mythos or an occult roll.
let's see. What do I got? What do I have? I have occult at 7, and I have mythos at 6. Yeah, sure. Let's go.
Uh, eh.
I rolled a 17. I'm not gonna spend. I mean, I guess I only have 41 luck, so no.
Yeah, you gotta save your hoard, your luck, and your sanity until we get another phase where you can bump them up.
I'll spend 2 luck.
That's a nope from me.
That's extreme success for me.
Okay. So we got Elaine, we got Avram. I would say that Elaine, spending your 2 luck on that, right?
Yep.
You know that this thing is not dead, as you witnessed. You saw it start to form into mist. And you know that, based on what you've read and what you've seen, you know that as it forms into mist, it's going to start healing itself. And Avram, something that you remember reading way, way back, you know that there's one thing that's always consistent when it comes to vampires, is that in order to kill them, while they are down, you have to run a stake through its heart. Otherwise, it's going to escape. And I don't know about you, but I assume he only has 1 flask on him.
Get a fishing pole! Get a
let's
fishing
get-
pole!
Yeah, I mean, fishing pole's a good idea. I was going to ask about like a dock spike.
Yeah,
Is there a fishing pole?
there are fishing poles.
Rum is going to give the man the fishing pole through the heart. I mean, I guess probably break it over his knee, so
Yeah.
it's a little sharp, and give him the business.
The business end of the fishing pole. Okay.
Extreme Bass Pro.
All right. So he can't fight back, but I would still like to see a fighting brawl check from you to try and push the stake through his heart.
Oh boy.
The makeshift fishing pole. I am looking just for a regular success.
I do have to spend 3 luck, but I got it.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I love when players spend luck. It's great. You go ahead and as you drive the stake into his heart, it makes it pretty easy considering the amount of like wounds and holes that are just riddled through this man's chest, courtesy of all of you. You break the pole over your knee. You just push and push and push the business end of it right over his sternum, right over his breastplate, just pushing it in and sinking the wood deeper into him. And it takes you a little bit of extra effort to break through the ribcage in order to get to it. But once you do, you know. Because the man is kind of half gurgling as he looks up at you, his fangs apparent, as you see him reach a hand up to try and swipe at you, just uselessly before you see the moment that the stake makes purchase with his heart. The man just crumbles into ash. All of the blood that dripped out of him mixing into it, making this sludge on the deck. All of the blood, all of the oil from the fat, and all the ash mixing together to make this weird, slimy mess that just sticks to the bottom of your boots. And it's just coating the bottom half of that fishing pole. But he is gone. His body, a sludge pile.
I had to beat back the inner willow for a moment.
You wanna fucking collect it?
Yeah.
Evie will go over and collect it.
What
We
the
have Willow at home.
fuck? You have Willow at home. Okay. What's she keeping it in?
One
Her
of the
pocket.
aforementioned flasks I just got roasted for having. They're in the scene now.
Flask labeled one vampire alive. Another flask, one vampire dead.
Dead. No, actually the tackle box might be good for this though, if we can fit them all in there.
Shovel. If you empty it, you could probably just
scoop
fit it
him up.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just scoop him up. It's incredibly messy.
Evie doesn't seem to register the mess at all.
It's very visceral. It's kind of like if you just. It's as if you took someone to a blender. It's kind of what
Mhm.
this consistency is. The ash just coagulating with the blood and the oil.
Which setting was a blender on?
Puree.
I just want to point out that this is the second time in like a week that one of my characters has run face first toward a body that could better be described as a pile of viscera.
See, this is more of a puree than just a pile of viscera.
There's a difference.
It's like it's like when you make a smoothie for the first time and it's a little too chunky.
Gross.
Into the box it goes. Into the box it goes.
You start shoving the vampire puree trademark into the tackle box. The rest of you, that's a second vampire. 1, 2, that's it for now. You are free to get on the boat if you would like.
Another pat on Elaine's shoulder. She shot good. She's keeping her shit together. Head off the boat.
Speaking of keeping your shit together, Avram, you were the closest one to this. You did this. If you can roll me a sanity real quick to see the vampire puree form right literally beneath you.
Let me see. That is a 44 against a 74.
Okay, cool. Only one sanity. This is about what you expected from what you've read.
He still sort of reels back and leans against the dock. He's can't quite get the last look the vampire gave him out of his head.
All right. So, you all can make your way onto the ship. Avram, this is about as gross as you imagined it being. And you just see these. Is Danny helping? Is that what that is there?
Danny is helping.
Okay.
He's ready to become ride or die with Evie.
You see your companion just helping this woman you just met just start scooping the puree into a tackle box of all things as the rest of the party starts boarding the ship.
Gross.
I imagine that this is par for the course, and like Evie doesn't even register Nathan going gross. She's just continuing about her work.
And Nathan doesn't stop to like watch because he's like, yeah, I don't really want to watch that. We're gonna go look in here.
So, you guys get up to this every weekend?
Not every weekend. Many of them, though. It isn't always vampires. Last weekend it was spirit.
Kind of spirit.
Dreadful one. Wouldn't recommend tussling with him. Animated body. Necessitated the use of dark Is that a tooth? Could you make sure that's in here?
Do you plan to make this into a necklace? Like a shark tooth?
Well, there's plenty that you can determine from a tooth. It's one of the more informative parts of an animal that you can find.
Huh. Abram, do you want in on this?
Are you looking for help with the scooping?
Evie looks up, very matter of fact. I think with two we have it under control. But if you'd like to assist, you're welcome. So long as it's understood that all of this delightful viscera will be mine to examine, first of all. You can have it after I've looked at it.
Yeah, I see. Staking it myself has not earned me the rights.
Evie will just sort of shrug. Yes, well, you did stake it. But you didn't do the... Oh, shit. I dropped my D10. Sorry. You did stake it, but we're doing the dirtier work here. So, 50-50?
Yeah, you can split it 50-50. You can take the entrails, and I will keep my vampire in a flask.
Evie will nod, and I imagine she, like, closes up the tackle box. You know, latches it shut. Just wipes her hands on her pants. That does sound fair to me. Good work on that, by the way.
I'm just glad staking actually works.
Okay. So you guys are divvying up the spoils of war over there. Nathan, you went into the cabin, right?
Yes.
All right. So what you see are a bunch of like maps and charting, and you also find a bunch of diving equipment.
Imagine he'd go to the maps first, because that would be what he would be most familiar with.
Mhm. Now, what you see is what looks to be a map of the Boston Harbor in a grid pattern. It looks like there are different X's and marks on every single square. It looks like they were systematically searching for something in the center of the harbor. And you see that they have a bunch of these boxes and grids crossed off with a large X. However, it looks like they found one with a large circle. It looks like they circled it a couple of times, as if they found their target. And it's the location that's in the exact center of the harbor as you look at it.
Are there any like timestamps or anything that clue him into like when this was found?
Yep. You see that these are essentially dating back to essentially every couple of days they went out searching, and that's been happening for the past 2 months, lining up with what the murders that Rebecca was talking about. And the one with the circle is dated for an hour.
An hour ago?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is there a... Can you make a copy of the map really quickly?
Yeah, you can take the time to go ahead and do that.
Make a copy of the map and roll it up and tuck it away.
Mm-hmm. Now, Rebecca, what are
Yes.
you doing?
Well, I assume she's watching the docks because, like, at least 3 guns were just shot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like fucking 6 guns were just shot. So you see people are kind of curious and they're still anxious, but no one's approaching you as of yet. That extreme law and persuade earlier is paying dividends. As they know that, no, the cops are here, they're taking care of it.
Probably cop shoot up.
Sorry, just give me 1 second.
Everybody set fire to the boat. DM's gone.
It's like that episode of Always Sunny.
I feel like you can, because of the 2 shows that you have binged, you can always find an Always Sunny episode or a fucking Naked and Free episode for everything.
I have watched all of Always Sunny like 5 or 6 times at this point. And the boat episode is one of the more infamous episodes as well because it has the whole bit about the implication in it, which is one of like 2 Always Sunny bits that people can usually think of, with the other one being Pepe Sylvia.
Hi, sorry about that. Can you repeat what you were saying?
Pepe Sylvia.
Gotcha, okay. It's only when I'm fucking running a game he wants to talk to me. So, oh, you're back, great. So, while you're looking at this, Rebecca, if you can please roll me a spot hidden and a listen. 2 separate rolls, please. Okay. So, Rebecca, as you're looking around, you notice that towards the back of the ship, there's this almost like trail of like water and seaweed. And you notice that on the back of the ship, there's the anchor, right? But there's also something that looks like a crane, as if to move something very heavy. And as you wander around towards that end, keeping an eye out on the dock and on any people coming to snoop around, you notice that in one of these storage containers, peeking out, is a large stone. Something incredibly heavy. You can imagine that's why they needed the crane. And you see that the stone is actually just and covered in bits of salt water that have dried up, forming little salt crystals on it. There's some seaweed still stuck to the bottom of it. And you see that this stone actually has the carving of a symbol etched into it. Now, I don't know how else to describe the sheer weight of this thing other than those gigantic cheese wheels, but made out of pure stone.
That's not where I was expecting that to go. That's not where I was expecting that to go.
It's the size and shape and heftiness of a very large circular cylinder with the top part carved into a pattern and the giant symbol etched into it, weathered by being presumably in the water for who knows how long, but still visible, still present. There's something about the symbol that just stands the test of time and weathering. And
Okay,
Rebecca,
sorry, can you clarify? Is it in the water? Like, is it like right here, or is it
it's
on
on
the
the boat.
ship? Okay,
It's on the
okay.
ship. I would say it's like the crane is over here in this area on the back of the boat, and you can spot it kind of in this area is where it's kept. This giant stone carving that has been dredged up from the bottom of the ocean and is now just sitting pretty in the middle of the ship. And Rebecca, as everyone is either scooping and remains into a tackle box or talking about splitting up what they've found or copying maps in the office, what you hear is the sound of conversation getting closer. It sounds like a couple of people are talking as they make their way down the dock towards the ship.
Can I see them yet, or just hear them?
You can hear them, and you can probably peek your head out, try and spot them. And you're just gonna roll with your previous spot hidden as well. She's doing pretty good. You spot one familiar figure. That would be Camilla from the museum, and she's
What the
walking with two
fuck?
other people. One of them is side by side with her, and those are the two that are talking. There's another that's walking in front, or behind them, more like, giving distance away.
How much time? Like, they're headed this way, right? How much time do I have exactly?
You have about, I would say 30 seconds at most before they're at the ship.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, so I don't have time for shit. 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can't just leave Elaine by herself.
Open
I'll say
fire.
Elaine could have gone onto the ship. We can say that.
Elaine, are you
Thank you.
going to the ship?
Yeah, she
Mhm.
wants to stick with the party.
Yeah, you can drag Elaine over to where she is on the ship. I will say that, Rebecca, you don't hear sounds of alarm at all. It sounds like it's just a quote-unquote normal conversation.
Mm-hmm. For now. Rebecca is going to attempt to grab these three and shove everyone inside here. Move. 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 Move.
I'm being
Move.
fruited.
No!
This is sheepdog Rebecca.
Walk away.
A mule. Yeah.
Don't spill the vampire.
And then once the door is closed, she will explain to everyone that Camilla and another, I assume, vampire is coming towards the ship right now.
Okay. So it's easy enough for you to usher everyone in. Whether that's persuading them having common sense, or just moving what they're after into the room.
I feel like it took some doing with Evie.
Yeah, I imagine Rebecca had to suit to just moving the tackle box into the room.
He was
'Cause
just
you
trying to
were-
scrape up the last bit. There's still more vampire.
And then she like turns and the tackle box isn't there. And she's just like, what? And then she stands up with the guts still in her hands looking for the tackle box until she finally makes her way into the cabin. Yes, exactly like that.
So,
And as they get in and Rebecca says something about there being another vampire coming, Evie just sighs. Why didn't you just say so?
I am saying so right now.
You could have said so earlier.
Nathan just kind of like was surprised by all of a sudden a whole bunch of people coming in, and sees Rebecca at the very tail end, and then hears this exchange and just like finishing curling up the map that he has drawn, nods. You guys see what I have to deal with all the fucking time.
Before
Okay.
she forgets, she'd also like to take out her notebook and like try to recreate the symbol on the stone.
Okay. I would say that she has time to just jot down just a brief copy of it. Not exact, before she hears the talking.
Yeah, close enough.
Alright. So, you were able to miraculously get everyone into their room in the nick of time, shutting the door. And getting everyone up to speed, just in time to hear the footsteps and the conversation grow closer. What you're hearing were just muffled voices in the distance start to become clearer. And are you trying to peek your head out to see as well, or are you just listening?
I think just listening.
Okay. So, this will be for the Oh, don't having technical difficulties. As you hear the kind of same footsteps you heard in the museum, the soft heels on the dock, accompanied by other footsteps. I'm gonna go onto the fucking lair, please. There's a familiar voice of Camila, and there is a lower timbre of a voice talking with her. And there's another set of footsteps, but it's quiet. It's farther back. It's not as close. And you all quiet down as you hear the conversation get closer down the dock, making their way over. Imagine everyone shushes down. Everyone just, shut. As the first thing you're all able to make out clearly is, would you like to tell me again why you want me here again?
Can't an old friend just come by to chat?
We both know that you don't really want to be here.
You see, but it's tradition to have a bit of small talk. But then again, you've never been one for tradition, have you?
That is a bit rich coming from you.
Oh, is it now? You know why I'm here. You don't need to ask. And you don't need me to tell you.
And I don't need you causing trouble in my territory.
By all rights, This is our territory more than yours. And it could be yours. Had you not left. Had you not walked away from it.
You wondered what. And how exactly did you find me again?
That's not for you to be concerned about. What you should be concerned about is here. Gestures to the boat.
Did you actually find it?
Well, I suppose you'd like to know how I came about to it, but I don't have to tell you. You gave up any right you had to any information I have.
I'm still entitled to some of them, considering that the only reason that people even look up to you is because my father liked you.
His lip kind of curls from agitation.
There's a matching, just almost snarl.
I had a begrudging respect for your father. He meant a lot to people. He meant a lot to us all. He still does. Which is why I am going to give you the benefit of the doubt. You are not so loved that one wouldn't betray you, it would seem.
Considering I only told one person where I'm going, it seems your claws got into them as well.
That may be, but it could have been you who slipped up.
I doubt it. And how exactly are you getting them to travel so far from home?
Say what?
How exactly are you getting them, presumably the other vampires, to travel so far from home?
Information has a price, and I think that you know my price.
We both know that these tools should not be used.
And we both know that I will do this dance until you cave.
And we both know that you can't exactly kill me because I'm the only one who can use them.
It's like a faith twitch. I would never dream of killing you.
No, that would be reason. And then you would be killed by everyone who follows you.
I would never want to put disrespect on your father's name or his legacy.
Hurry up and get out of my debt.
What do you even plan on doing with it other than leaving it to rot underneath your noses?
It's not rotting, it is being preserved.
Preserved for the next two curious archaeologists, maybe.
No, these aren't mine. They were made for me. These are only mine. It's not going to rot in my...
Tell me, your friends who know of this place, are they only yours too? The ones who may have told me where it might be?
You? Always in the pain in the ass.
He smiles, and it's not a happy smile. You know how you can get me gone. Doesn't even have to be difficult. We could finish it right now if you really wanted.
If I do this, you and all of your followers are going to leave and never return to this.
I would say so, but your sudden change in demeanor has me concerned. What made you turn and question? Now I am beginning to wonder if you don't have a plan in your sleeve.
My plan is to either try and clean up the mess you've made in my city, or just leave again. Because someone just killed whoever saw them. So I have to deal with the fallout.
You may deal with your fallout when you need, but this is bigger than both of us, and you know that. I am working on something grand here.
Oh, to be a little pet again.
He like snarls and will whip around in front of her. Like, you dare take such a tone with me?
And you dare try to threaten me?
Backs down.
Didn't think so. Let's just get this over with so I don't have to see you again.
Perfectly well with me.
Where are you keeping it?
He, DM, he will reveal whatever location.
Mm-hmm. It's the stone that was mentioned earlier. Ta-da! Over. Start making her way over. Very begrudgingly. And she's carrying a pretty hefty suitcase.
In the room, Rebecca will point to the drawing on her notebook to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Mouth rock.
Is this where we all brain at that?
Mm-hmm. I would say that. And if you would like to roll a cult, you can.
I'm gonna try just for the potential.
All right, let me roll. That is what the fuck is that? A 78, so that is not a success.
Thank you, Elaine.
Mm-hmm.
Nice working, man. Success.
All right. So you got a success from Elaine and from Avram.
Looks like.
So The two of you see this symbol that was kind of hastily just written down and copied. And the both of you just instantly recognize it as an elder sign. So, essentially, the both of you would know that an elder sign is a seal, essentially a symbol that when carved into something creates a seal. And it is typically used to close gates. So, for example, say there is a gate open to something greater or far beyond, and if you were to put an elder sign on it, it takes a bit to cast. But once you do, that gate no longer becomes active until that symbol itself is removed. You can probably put some of the pieces together here of this is probably a symbol, a seal to block something that was in the Boston Harbor. Now the vampires, or at least one of them, are very gung-ho about getting rid of for some reason. And it sounds like Camilla is about to finally use her cleansing tools to get rid of the spell.
Which would open the gate, right?
Yes.
It's ready to fight more vampires.
Yep. Yep.
We need to deal with this.
I'm assuming Elaine and Avram piece together and explain in whispers to everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is really bad.
But I see a nice straight line.
Joe, does he hover around Camilla while she's working?
Yes, he would, like, while she's working, he would just, I would say, like, vaguely in the area.
Yeah. She's
Are
going to
these
be over here
windows?
working on it. Yes, these are windows.
Rebecca's gonna try to open one. Are they openable?
Sure.
And how large are they?
Enough for a person that is about average size to squeeze through.
Okay. Okay. Holding.
Mm. There's an atmosphere of just like contempt radiating from those two on the boat. So this guy is here keeping guard.
Good.
Didn't we kill him?
Who has Evie's rifle?
Elaine.
Oh, Elaine has Evie's rifle. Okay.
And
Oh no, you need a rifle, don't you?
I have a shotgun.
Oh, okay. Except Evie will, having been alerted, start setting up to try and get a shot.
Okay.
I think
So-
Elaine will go with Rebecca because windows. It's not as crowded.
So what we're doing here is I'd like everyone to roll me stealth checks.
I was worried you'd say that.
Because people are keeping guard, because the thing that they've been working for the past 2 months is about to happen.
Oh, let's go.
Hey!
Well,
Quiet as a mouse.
I got a 65, so I'm not quiet as a mouse.
Mm-hmm.
Hey!
Oh my god.
Yo!
You know what? I'm gonna spend the 2. Thanks,
Okay.
And I got a success as well. Basic success.
I'm slightly louder than a mouse.
Okay. So we'll say that Danny and Evie, the two of you make a noise of some sort. Whatever it is up to you guys to flavor. Ooh. Okay, Sailor. And now,
Hi,
buddy.
Sailor.
Hey, buddy. Sugar boy.
I haven't been squeaking this entire time.
You've been such a good boy. Okay. So, what we're going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and hit this button. And... oh. Delete that. Boop. Boom. Boom. We're going to go ahead and add everybody. You can go ahead and put your dex stat in chat.
You can just click on your token and then on the combat section, hit dexterity. And it'll put you over. It's not a check
Oh, the
button.
combat
Yeah.
section, my bad.
Make sure you clicked on your token first.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You fast motherfuckers.
Everyone's so agile.
Wait, why is yours 57?
And I
Such
don't
a weird number.
fucking
That's
know.
odd. It's
He's
just what your dex
chunky.
stat is.
It is what my dex stat is. It's 57.
Yeah, why is it 57? Okay, that's odd.
Weird.
What am I clicking?
Oh, you know what? It might be like age.
Charlie, go to
thing.
combat, and then on the combat page, click where it says dexterity.
After you've clicked
Oh,
your token first.
okay.
Mhm.
There you go.
Thank you.
Oh, whoops, not that one.
Dexterity and my constitution are not 5 or 0, so.
Okay. So we're going to go ahead and do descending order. All right. So, Joe, if you can put on some combat music for me,
Mm-hmm.
that would be lovely. Because that is going to be a very, very, very good roll to detect you guys. It's going to be an extreme. Did anyone get better than an extreme? Okay. So, fortunately, due to dynamics, both of the vampires here are very on edge when near each other. So, even though you guys are very quiet, they're also incredibly quiet. And there's a slight sound made from Evie and Danny. Maybe the door creaks a little bit near their weight. That alerts both of them. So, we'll say, top of the round here, that Camila was in the middle of unpacking her tools very carefully. And she, after being alerted to something, is going to start putting them back in the suitcase.
Mm.
And that's what she's doing for her turn. Joe, what's Dario doing?
Oh.
There was a sound from somewhere. And then he sees Camilla start packing away the tools again after she just finished unpacking them.
Man, this is a hard one. Does he know where the sound came from?
Vaguely that direction.
Do I have enough time to ask a question to Camilla?
Yeah.
Because he, like, as she's packing stuff up, Dario will reach out and grab her shoulder and turn her a little bit and be like, "You are followed."
She is not happy that he fucking touched her, let alone grabbed her. She will just put a hand, just fucking push him away. It's like, last time I checked, this is your boat. I didn't bring anyone.
Then Dario's going to start marching towards the noise.
Okay. Then you say that that's Dario's turn, unless you want to do something else. Essentially, you can do like one significant thing that you've got time to do.
I imagine he can't get to the source of the noise right away, so he would spend his entire turn like getting there and expecting it to be like one trespasser who was like robbing the boat or something annoying. But where would the noise be?
You have to look for it.
Inside the cabin, because it's Evie and Danny, I think.
So could he make it all the way to the cabin door?
Let me see what his move speed is. His build's 1. Why does it not have it? Hold. Opening my book. Hold. Yeah, he can definitely get there.
Perfect.
That actually works.
Can he open the door?
I will say that between confirming with Camilla of like, did you fucking do this? No, fuck off. And getting there. You can probably try and open the door. But I imagine that you guys don't, the other side of the door does not want it to be open.
I'll say he could probably just about, like, he's not grabbed onto the handle yet. He's like walking very briskly towards the door to go to the cabin, not expecting that anyone would be in it except maybe one person, and not expecting certainly anyone to jump out the window.
Yeah.
I'll clarify this first, Amy. Is this like a solid metal door, or is this like a door that has a window in it, or what type of door?
This is solid metal.
So there's no window or anything.
Okay. I imagine that Rebecca had the foresight to lock the door.
Yes, common sense.
Yeah.
She's full of it.
Yep. So, Daria, you try and jiggle the fucking handle. It's locked. That's what you've got to do. Rebecca.
Okay.
So above table confirming with party, this is a combat encounter, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
Okay, great. So tell me again about move speed. Like how far?
I kind of let you go off of vibes.
Okay, so like...
I would say...
20, 30 feet.
Yeah,
right here?
about.
If you're running.
Okay, what about...
Well, we can just go with like, 20, 30 feet.
Right here?
Yeah, you
Out
can get
the
over there.
Just gonna shoot him.
Alright.
Shoot Dario?
Yep.
Dario around the corner or the vampire you see here?
Dario. He's in front of the door.
How could you do this to me?
Like
My
this.
heart's called a vampire. You can't kill me.
Ooh.
Okay.
I'm spending luck for that.
You're gonna spend luck? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Joe. Do you want to have Dario try and fight back or dodge?
I don't know much of the rules of the system. My options for can he dodge gunfire?
Yeah. Essentially.
Yeah, you might want to explain all the rules because I think the only people who have been in combat before in this are me and Kira.
Okay. So. 1 second. Essentially, when a character is attacked by something, they can do 2 things. They can either dodge or fight back.
Okay.
Or you can try and do like a maneuver of some sort, which is pretty much anything other than dodging or fighting back. Now, if you were to dodge, you need to roll your dodge skill, your dodge check, and it needs to match the success of the attack in order to succeed. So because Rebecca used 7 luck, that is a regular success. If Dario were to dodge, he needs to get a regular success on his dodge roll. If he wanted to fight back, he needs to get a higher level of success. So you would need to roll his fighting skill and then get a hard success or better in order to do damage instead of getting the damage from the first attack. Or you could do something not in any of those options and do a maneuver, which would resolve the same as fighting back. But that's kind of just your catch-all, doing something outside of just attacking or dodging.
Okay, so if I have to choose whether or not I'm dodging or fighting back. Yep. I can't just dodge and then do really good and fight back as a result of that.
Yes. So you would have to choose one or the other.
Okay. And if I fight back against a ranged attack, what does that let me do?
I would say that as a vampire, you could close the distance and attack.
Okay.
Because vampires are cool and they're fast as fuck for no reason. They have a +2 movement because of their species.
That is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't imagine I actually have luck of any kind because I'm not technically a PC. But if I do, then
you know what? To make this interesting, sure. You can have luck.
Okay.
A very small pool, so he doesn't just use luck on everything.
Yep. Then, you can roll me a let me roll actually. Is hold. Let me do math through. We'll do a small pool.
Oh.
I will give you what's everyone else's luck's at?
Right now?
41.
Mm-hmm.
45.
48.
Okay. I will give you 25 luck.
Gotcha.
As an NPC to use.
Well, given that Dario still thinks that there's only the one, or at least has no reason to think there would be more than one person aboard, and someone just popped out and cracked a shot at him, I'm a gambling man. I'm gonna have him fight back.
Okay. Hold
and
1
he has
second.
to roll to a dodge. He has to roll to dodge and roll to dodge and get more than a standard success.
Yeah, so for a dodge, you need to meet. For a fighting back, you need to beat.
Gotcha. But it's still rolling dodge both ways.
No, for a fight back, you would roll your attack.
Oh, well, okay. Then what is my attack? Oh, then yeah, it's gotta be a fight back.
Okay.
How do you
I see the
fight back
target
a
numbers here.
bullet?
Dodge and the fucking bite you.
It's so Amy said that I wouldn't do damage, I would just close the distance.
Ooh.
If I succeed, I just boop pop up right in front of you.
Mhm.
So I don't know if I can click on something on my sheet, but I also don't want to reveal.
It has the Whisper to
Shit
keep
to
her
everyone.
enacted. You should be able to just click on. Yeah.
Darn.
All right. So I think your bite does more if you want to try and do that. Biting.
For if the can I I can bite roll the bite. If I do that.
Oh no, you're fighting. Sorry.
Yeah,
Wait,
fighting back.
So I forgot to. I have this written down in my shit. I just never did your sheet. It's still a failure, but let me just change the target of your thing real quick. All right. There we go. So it's still a failure,
Gotcha.
unless you want to use the luck to bring that down to a success.
But for it to successfully fight back, it would have to be a hard success.
Yes, it would have to be a hard success. Otherwise, you're
if
going
I-
to take the damage.
If I wanted to make it a hard success, how many? I would have to spend like all my luck, wouldn't I?
Pretty much. Or you can just
Yeah,
take
no.
the 3 damage.
Let's take damage.
Okay.
You got the jump on Dario. That's fair.
So you close the distance on him if you'd like to. But you still take the bullet.
Even though I failed the roll?
You know what? You're right. My mistake. You get the jump on Dario. He wasn't expecting someone to pop out from a fucking window.
Like, just as he jiggles the handle, he's like, oh no, something's way wrong.
Something's wrong. This ain't supposed to be locked. Okay.
Good job, Rebecca.
Good job. Danny.
Oh, Danny boy.
Miss God?
Yes?
Well, you said Danny first.
It's your turn, Charles.
In combat.
Yes, we are in combat.
Mhm.
It is your turn on thingy.
Okay, is the window Evie's working on already open?
Oh, Evie's not working on it.
This one's open.
Yeah.
The ones on the side are open.
Can we do hold actions?
Can we do hold actions?
Yeah, you can.
Alright. I guess raise up the machete.
Okay. I'm assuming your trigger is if the door opens. I will say that if it does not open, you would essentially just lose your action, as long as you're okay with that.
Yep.
It's
Okay.
gonna open. I can promise you that.
Okay, it's gonna open. Sandy, you get ready. Holding up your machete, ready to strike at whatever the fuck's on the other side of this door. Elaine. You just saw Rebecca just jump out the fucking window and then a shot go off. The door handle is jiggling.
And I can't get close enough to use my shotgun, huh?
Unfortunately, the door is metal. You would have to leave the safety of the cabin.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, come next to Rebecca, essentially.
Also, you could get that far.
Could I shoot him, though?
Yeah, you could.
It would be one of the lesser die counts, though, for a shotgun.
Still a lot, because shotguns are fucking cracked.
How far would that be? Would you estimate that, like the second or third range?
Second, I believe.
Second.
Because I believe it
Maybe
goes
six.
by yards, if I remember correctly.
Do we want to kill Camilla?
I don't want to.
Not unless she
But-
attacks us first. Or
Yeah.
seems like she's about to.
Dario and the other fella out there are more priority targets to me.
Because the implication from the conversation was that she did not really want to do this.
And she's putting the tools back away.
Okay. DM,
Mhm.
would it be possible to, instead of shoot and stuff, get next to Camilla?
Yeah. You can forego any other actions and just focus on running.
Would it be possible to kind of sneak towards her? Or is
Just-
she really rare?
Just try and what towards her?
Sneak. Like,
She won't
not have
sneak
her
up on
notice
her.
me. Yeah.
It would have to be a stealth check if you want to try and close the distance that fast.
Hmm. The extreme self didn't do anything last time.
I'll give you a bonus die. Because of the extreme stealth from last.
Because
Okay.
Dario's already been shot, and you're going to go across his line of view.
Mm-hmm. How many fucking people are here? You just got shot from one person. There's someone else on the other end. There's someone in the room. Now there's gonna be another one darting around.
Okay, I'm gonna try it. Either way, I'm still going to head over there,
Okay.
regardless.
Mhm.
So we said a bonus die. So that's 2, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Oof.
Yeah, no.
You can get over there, but you are noticed.
That's fine.
Alright. You can move your token accordingly.
Can I say
We'll just-
something?
Sure.
Okay.
Go
What do you
to
say to her?
This is such a dumb plan. This is such a dumb plan. But so she's not going to shoot or anything, but she kind of says a little quietly, but holding the gun up, as if she's threatening her, kind of thing. She'll say kind of quietly, "We would prefer to keep you out of this, but we will attack. To give us reason to."
You hold your gun up to her. As she is fucking minding her own fucking business. She just turns and she looks at you. And Elaine's like small, right?
Yeah, and she's definitely she's using the best of her courage here, but she's obviously intimidated.
Mm-hmm. Mila just turns and she looks down at Elaine. And there's just this growing sense of like, playing with fire that's in the back of Elaine's mind. As Camila looks at her, looks her up and down, before turning away from her, focusing back on her tools. She carefully puts them away. I do not really care what happens, I just want to be away from here. So if you could please just put the gun away and leave me alone, that would...
She'll, step back a bit or give her a bit more space, but she's not putting the gun down. It is for my protection.
Okay. Noted. Elaine, roll me a POW save.
Oh, what?
Roll me willpower.
Willpower. Okay. Okay.
Okay. An O check. Okay. So Elaine, for a second, she turns and she looks at you, and her eyes seem very, very vibrant, almost glowing. And a part of you has the urge to just turn and walk away, but you're able to just shake that off and just focus on gripping the gun. But there is a slight tremble in you. And she kind of glares, rolls her eyes, but she focuses on her fucking work. She's trying to put her tools away. She doesn't like there's a gun on her. But we're gonna go on to Evie.
Prepare
How you
action,
doing?
shoot, pass.
Okay. What are the
Yeah,
two
Charlie
Elaines?
and Matt both have to be up very early tomorrow, so.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead with Nathan.
Can I open the door and shoot at the same time?
I will say yes.
Just go swing the door open and shoot with a shotgun.
Okay. What's she gonna do? Fighting back or dodging?
Dodging.
Okay.
Okay, that is a regular success. Do I want to do this? Okay. Spend 10 luck. I got 60 luck. Spend 10 luck to bring it down to a hard success.
All right, Joe. You gotta roll me a hard success.
That's gonna be a hard success if I spend. I've got to do math really quick. Spend some number of luck. I can hard succeed if I do that.
Okay. But that means Evie shoots as well.
Evie doesn't have a shot yet. Avram's in the way. I don't want to pop him, so I don't feel like it's a clear shot.
I mean, you can still try and shoot. Unless you personally don't want to, because he's in the way, but I'm not gonna have any penalties on that.
There's no penalties on that?
Not a system designed for a whole bunch of intricate combat.
Yeah.
All right. I guess I'll take the shot.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 20, so that actually does hit.
Okay.
Let's see, what is the damage on this thing? 2d6 plus 4. I had not anticipated needing d6s, so I will use...
So, what degree of success is that?
Oh, it's versus a 20. It's a 20 versus a 20. 25.
Okay.
20 versus 25.
Okay, so that's still a regular success.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that is 2d6 plus 4.
So, Dario already dodged, so he got a hard success. So he's going to be able to dodge that one, and he meets Nathan's. Because he used a bunch of luck. I can actually get the exact number for you in a second, Joe.
So he
Got
only
it. It's
has to
16.
dodge one time rather than dodging twice.
For ease of streamlining it, yes, because we don't have much time. If we had more time, I'd be like, yes, sure, roll a bunch, but trying to end this before we lose Charlie and Matt.
Just need to hit pause because it seems like there's some frustration with the length of the combat at the moment. And finish it on another night.
Okay.
that was a question I've not heard an
Oh.
answer to.
I wasn't sure if that was a question. I wouldn't say that I'm frustrated. I'm just trying to be conscious of timing, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I am good to keep going if you would like, but I am not upset.
Right.
Guess it would be
Well,
a question towards Charlie and Matt. Do you two of you
yeah.
want to just hit a pause? Because this will take a while, probably. The number of people.
I mean, I'm fine with you guys continuing to play. But that was more so I got a dip.
I'm alright to keep going.
Because we can't just put pause in it and pick this up next time. It would just be a straight up combat next time. At least for the first part until we're done.
We could always try and fit in completing the combat session.
I'm going to vote here of we probably just need to pause it because the vibe has been thrown. And I think we're all kind of a little bit on the back foot all of a sudden.
I'm good with that.
That is okay with you, Amy.
Yeah, sure. You either try and fit in finish the combat session somewhere or just pick up next time.